Hi, I'm Clara Mushkin. I'm the director of the Children in Contemporary Society Certificate program. I'd like to introduce one of our certificate graduates. Her name is Sarah Rabiner. Sarah will tell you about the research that she did as part of her independent study, which turned into an honors thesis. She looked at the factors that shape student engagement in school, particularly in those schools that are dealing with gang violence. Sarah's working for Citizen Schools. This is a nonprofit organization that provides extended learning opportunities for middle school students. And the organization is particularly interested in addressing the achievement gap among low-income students.
This one in particular is incredibly interdisciplinary. You look at the list of courses that are pre-approved for their certificate, and they're in psychology, they're in economics, they're in anthropology, they're in public policy, really across the board, and statistics even for the research methods. So having a program that spans so many different disciplines, I think is pretty unique. Classes that stick out of my mind from the certificate program is actually the Cornerstone, I think it's actually called Children in Contemporary Society. That was really great. Definitely exposed me to sort of issues related to youth and youth development internationally that I was completely unaware of, and really sparked my interest for a while in early childhood education. And I actually ended up completing an internship in St. Louis public schools that sort of was a direct result of interest in that issue. I took Changing American Families with Dr. Linda Burton, and that may have been one of the most important courses I took while I was at Duke. I was always fascinated by gangs, was a big part of my middle and high school experience, and we had these very sort of rigid behavior-driven policies at school. And, I always felt safe. There were security cameras and metal detectors, but it sort of struck me like, what impact is this really having on how we feel about our experience at school? So my research question was, how do youth gangs on school campuses affect student attitudes and behavior? I worked with Clara Mushkin, more with a methodology, and she helped me focus my hypotheses and reframe my research questions, and then my independent studies built into my senior thesis through sociology. The data set that I used was from 3 different states, multiple different school districts. I mean, in Durham there was like 8 middle schools that were surveyed, so there was a lot of data. And for me, the most surprising thing, and now as an educator, is sort of heartwarming that the greatest influencers on student attitude and behavior were actually the teachers. Teachers more so than peers, and more so than parents. It's really interesting. So those students who reported sort of positive relationships with teachers, they had much warmer feelings about their school and were much less likely to act out in any antisocial way. My experience in the certificate in sort of helping me get clarity on my career path, which right now, I must confess, there is no clarity in my career path. But it did lead me towards working with Citizen Schools, which is a national nonprofit that focuses both on direct service in middle schools and in urban, high-risk areas with underrepresented youth. So I have the chance to work directly with 12, 13, and 14-year-old students, and also sort of work with people at the state level and at national level to sort of affect education policy.